Hey there, Mountain Man McKenna here. That's my new handle for YouTube. I just started this YouTube channel a couple weeks ago. I thought it'd be fun, kind of hobby for me to do while I'm out enjoying nature. Make some videos and put them together, publish them on YouTube. Maybe share it with the world if anybody cares. And when I first created a website, I was late at night. I was kind of in a hurry. You're supposed to create like a caption for your channel, your YouTube channel, and a title for the channel. And I was kind of tired, as I said, so I didn't really think on it too long. I was just like, oh, well, I don't even remember what I had. And when I was in high school, I went to this camp. It was very outdoor oriented, and so it was very outdoor oriented. Did a lot of hiking, canoeing, backpacking, rock climbing, mountain biking, river swimming, playing in the mountains. And so I came home when I was in high school. My brother and I went to the same high school. He was ahead of me 1 year, and one of his classmates kind of teased me a little bit, not in a bad way, just guy stuff. They call me Grizzly Adams when I come home. So I was really into all that kind of stuff. And but anyway, so I thought, well, for now at least, unless I can think of something better, I'm going to title my channel Mountain Man McKenna. And I'm actually hiking today on my way up here to this hike. I have this kind of idea in my head that if I could change my name to anything, I would change it to Morpheus Stardust. That's Morpheus Stardust, as in like Morpheus from the movie Matrix. And then Stardust, like dust from the stars that explode and all that, like all the stuff that makes up the planets, everything on the planet, including us. So I know that's kind of out there, but hey, I don't think there's anything wrong with out there. I kind of like out there. So, long story short, I'm kind of thinking maybe a good title would be Mountain Man McKenna and his alter ego, Morpheus Stardust. I might get some invitations to a psychiatric facility with that title, but well, it is what it is, I suppose. I like it. I think it's kind of funny, and I'm really into kind of cosmology, like the study of the universe, time, space, all that stuff. I find it super intriguing. But anyway, reason I'm making this video today, that's all been a sidetracked. So the reason I'm making this video today is I am doing another hike today, as you can tell. I'm walking through the woods here, and I am at New River State Park in North Carolina. And my first time here in a long time. My mother actually got married here to the second husband that she had, second legal husband, I guess you could say. Maybe I should clarify that. We don't want to dive too deep into that. But anyway, she's passed now, and that marriage ended a while before she passed. But her and the man she married like to do a lot of camping and all over the country, and I was really glad, to see that in their relationship, because I think they both enjoyed that, and it was a good thing. So anyway, they ended up deciding to get married, and they had this service with, I think it was just me, my brother and sister, and her ex-husband. I won't say his name for his own privacy, but anyway, yeah, we all went out at a picnic table, and they hired a Baptist. They were both kind of hippie-ish, but they found a local, it's kind of rural mountain North Carolina area, but they found a Baptist minister somewhere in the area that agreed to marry them. And Gary is a musician, played in a lot of bands. He was the editor for music. Oh, I was not supposed to talk about him. I forgot, respecting his privacy. Sorry. We'll leave it at that. But anyway, her husband or groom brought a guitar, and he played To Make You Feel My Love by Bob Dylan. And it's a beautiful song. You may be more familiar with the Garth Brooks version, which is also a very beautiful song. And so that's kind of a history of the only time I ever remember coming to New River State Park. But I'm here again today, and I'm hiking. It's a good day, lots of shade. It's a bit humid, a little bit buggy. And I didn't bring any bug repellent, but just try to keep moving, and the bugs don't seem to bother you when you're moving as much. And I'll see if I can. I just got to a spot that's down by the river. It's not quite at the river, but you can get a good view of the river. So I'm going to see if I can share that with you real quick. Get a nice view of that beautiful New River. There's a lot of interesting stuff about the New River. I won't get into all that now. I'm going to make some more videos about today and this river. And if you're interested, check out those other videos, because New River's got a lot of cool facts about it, a lot of history and other things. So anyway, I'm going to keep hiking. We'll try to get some more videos made for you, and y'all be well. Hey there, Mountain Man McKenna, New River hike video coming at you. So I found this little homestead. Well, it's right on the middle of the trail. I wouldn't say I found it. So it's here, and I thought I'd share it here. I'm gonna do a, let's see if I can, you know what, I'm just gonna do it on another video. So it's a beautiful little clearing with some grass, lots of growth. Can't really see the river even though we're right close to it, right close to the river. You see all that overgrowth of flowers and reeds and stuff growing up, but you can definitely probably see the homestead behind me. There's an old chimney right there. There's a sign what it's all about. So I won't bore you with the details, because maybe you want to come up here and explore this place for yourself one day. So I won't go into what my bosses at work would call information dumping, which is kind of a bad habit if you're ever in sales. You want to be careful about that. That's the whole subject, whole nother subject. But the trail, still having a great time. It's a warm day. I'm getting a good sweat, but that's not a bad thing. Detoxify that body. I got out of the city to get out of that hot, dirty air in Charlotte, and hey, getting a little sweat, just icing on the cake at the end of the day. All right, guys, more videos to come. Peace to your mother. Hey there, New River State Park hike continued. Down at a put-in right on the river, standing right basically a one step away from the water. Got lots of kayakers out here and canoers. Some tubers getting in the water right over here. Excited about the day. It's a hot summer day. It's a great place to be. But this water's cool. Maybe I should have planned on being in the water instead of hiking. Maybe next time. Lots of people. New River is very popular for its very mild river. Not a lot of rapids. But I'll give you a shot of the put-in here. Walk you around a little bit.
Matt, tie it to your raft.
All right, I'm not sure where the trail's going from here. That might have been the whole trail. I have to find another one. So we'll check back in with you guys later. There's a parking lot down here right by the river at the park. Little picnic area. All right, we'll talk to you later. Hey, Mountain Man McKenna and his alternate ego, Morpheus Stardust, coming at you from New River State Park in North Carolina, up near the North Carolina-Virginia border. And been doing some hiking down here. Pretty mild day of hiking so far, not a lot of elevation change. Not much, covered most of the trails. I think in the park is not a lot of hiking trails. I was thinking there was a 5-mile hike here, but this last piece of trail I came out on comes down past the visitor center where the RV campsites are. So I'll give you a shot. You can kind of see some of the people's setups down here. There's the bathroom, the wash house, restrooms, and pretty quiet. Here's an empty spot. Pretty luxurious campgrounds, if you ask me. I don't know what the rate is, but I'm glad I came up here. I think I might have wanted more of a hike, distance-wise and elevation change, to really push myself a little harder today, but it is a hot day, and so it is what it is. I think I'm gonna take a shower and get cleaned up. I have got an early start today. Lately, my hiking, I've been sleeping in, not getting on the road till about 11 or later. This morning I was out of the house by 8:30ish. So I was able to get here a decent hour, get started. So I have some time left for later afternoon, early evening. Maybe check out a couple other places. There's all kinds of stuff along the New River, not just the state park, so maybe more to come. All right, guys, that's a wrap for now. All right, and here's the visitor center for New River State Park. There's a couple up here from close to Charlotte, I'll say that. I won't tell you where they're from. You can come up here and talk to them. They're nicest people, salt of the earth, and they'll probably tell you where they're from. They told me. But they're apparently retired, and they volunteer up here for the whole month of August to come up and work in the information center, give out information, and do the tasks in the information center. And they live up here in a pull behind RV. It's like an RV, one of those. I'm not really into RVs and all the terminology, but you get the idea, right? Not an RV with the steering wheel and an accelerator, but when you latch onto your truck and tow behind you. Anyway, they are up here for the whole month, living up here and just volunteering. So really great couple. Maybe you guys come up here and meet them. All right, that's wrap 2. Hello, everybody. This is Mountain Man McKenna and his alternate ego, Morpheus Stardust, making a final video for my trip that I made today up to New River State Park in North Carolina. And I had a great day. It was really beautiful. Hadn't been up there in a long time. And I did a little research last night before to try to decide on where I was going to go hiking today. And I brought some facts together that I had learned last night. I want to share that as a final video. And just to kind of share where I'm at, I had just started this video channel on YouTube. And the sort of the continuity of the videos have I don't think they've been great. And I have been thinking about taking the clips that I make and sewing them together into one video. And hopefully that would have a much more logical flow instead of these individual clips that I take at different points along these hikes. If I put them all together, that might make a little more sense. It might make it a better viewing experience if anybody's interested in watching the videos at all. Anyway, so with that said, that's what I'm doing tonight for the first time. I'm going to try to, instead of just publishing each clip individually and letting people trying to kind of piece together that continuity of the trip for themselves, I'm going to try to put together all these videos in a sequence that sort of makes sense, or hopefully makes sense. And then this video right here will be the wrap up. So, a couple of things that I think are super cool about the new river that I learned and getting ready to go on this hike is New River is extremely old. It's one of the oldest rivers in the country. It is between 10 and 360 million years old. That's a pretty big range. So it doesn't really tell us exactly how old it is with any specification, but lets us know that it is pretty old, and it's pretty cool to know that it's one of the oldest rivers in the country. It is a special river for a lot of reasons. It's actually home to the eastern hellbender salamander, which is a pretty rare species. And I learned that like ecologists will study rivers to determine the health of the river itself, as far as its ability to sustain life in different species and things like that. And this species of salamander is a really good indicator because it's so rare. Uh, it's apparently a very good indicator of the vitality of the river as a source for creatures and things to live in. So I thought that was really cool. It makes it something else that makes it really special, other than like being really ancient and old. And the flow of the river is actually pretty fascinating. There's not a whole lot. There's only a handful of rivers in the world that flow from the south to the north, and the New River is one of them. It's sort of like the Nile. I know you probably learned in school. I know they taught us in school that the Nile runs from north to the south, and that doesn't usually happen, um, at least in the northern hemisphere, as far as I know. So there's that, and the New River starts in the Boone and Banner Elk area. So it actually starts up about 2 hours from where I live down here in Charlotte. It flows north from North Carolina into Virginia. Then it goes up into West Virginia, where it becomes part of the Gauley River. And you probably heard of the Gauley. The Upper Gauley is a really famous whitewater rafting section of the New River or of the Gauley. Um, which I've actually been on, and I have a scar to prove it. Maybe I'll make a video of my scar for you, but maybe not. All right. So um, the Gully, then, yeah, it's known. The Gully is known for its whitewater rafting. I think they have some class fives on the Upper Gully. And I'll tell you the story of the trip where I actually picked up the scar. I was up. I had been invited with some people I played kickball with one year to go on a rafting trip on the Gully, and we went up there, and it had just a tropical storm had come up from the south just prior to us going out on the river, and so the whole all that residual blow off that comes when a tropical storm comes up on shore and then just makes its way up and dumps rain all over the coastline. So it really was just the river was just saturated with flow. Um, and the guide was a little uncertain about whether they wanted to actually do the trip at the beginning. And then we got down to where a pretty big tributary was just dumping so much water into the river where they combined, and the water just got so much more intense. And we hit a pretty serious below that. The river had so much more water and was so much more turbulent. We hit a rapid, and we flipped the raft, and everybody went swimming. And I had to swim back to. I was pretty far away from the raft by the time I had gotten kind of oriented. It was a pretty frightening experience. I'm not gonna lie. The water was really rough, and I was kind of under the boat for a little while, and everybody was kind of everywhere, and we kind of had to float through the rapids before we could get to a calm part of the water. And well, I finally did get to the boat and tried to climb out, and they helped pull me in, and I had a wetsuit on, And somewhere along, I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the line, I hit something, and that little zipper on the inseam of the leg where the your wetsuit zips down to tighten it up, I guess just hit a rock or something and scraped, and it dug this hole in my skin. And so it was a terrible injury, but um, it was actually pretty bad. I had to get some medical attention for it after I got back home. So that's my upper golly story. I've got a scar to prove it, but anyway, that's enough of that. But the going back to the topic we're supposed to be talking about here, which is the New River. So we were talking about the flow, how it started up in the mountains of North Carolina, and then up into Virginia, then up into West Virginia, then it flows into the Gauley. The Gauley actually will now flow into the Ohio River. And I don't know much about the Ohio River, but the Ohio River actually flows into the mighty Mississippi. And probably everybody here knows, or if you don't, the mighty Mississippi River flows down into the Gulf of Mexico. And as somebody who's grown up here in North Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised, I was born in Durham, raised in Charlotte since the time I was 2 years old. I just always had this notion that all the water from the Appalachian Mountains and rain and the river systems would all naturally flow to the Atlantic, because we're not far from the Atlantic. It's only um, probably 2.5, say 3 hours at the closest to the Atlantic. So it's really kind of cool for me to think about this place, Boone, up there. If you never heard of Boone, that's where Appalachian State University is. Cute, Appalachian, a cute little mountainous town, and it's just really cool to think that when it's raining and pouring up in those mountains, that some of that water is going to work its way into becoming the New River, and that water is eventually going to go through that long trek and eventually work its way out into the Gulf of Mexico way down south. It never occurred to me that was really even a possibility. So I was really enjoying learning that. And so that is all the fun facts, if you will, that I learned about the New River that I wanted to share with you. I think if you're looking for something to do, especially in the summertime, do a little day trip or a little weekend trip, do a little exploring in the Carolinas or Virginia. It's something that you should definitely check out. And I hope if you had took the time to watch this video, I hope you enjoyed it. And don't be afraid to like or dislike or comment. I just started this two channel, uh, and I published a quick little clip of some scallops that I fried up or sautéed in a pan, and it got like 2,000 views. And that really isn't kind of the purpose of my channel, so that was kind of a funny experience. But that's the only video that I've had any comments on, and they were both like fairly critical, not really mean or negative, but a little bit. And so I just liked them. I'm just like, hey, I got a comment. I don't care if it's negative or positive. So whatever you have to say, that's fine. And if you like the video, do think about liking it. And if you want to subscribe, I'm going to hopefully get better at this whole video publishing thing about my hikes and maybe anything else that I decide to add to the channel. But for now, this is where I'm at, and I'll keep working on it. If you have any other YouTubers out there who might come across this, if you have any advice, if you've gone through the learning process of starting a video channel and it's become successful and popular, and you've actually been able to monetize that at all, please comment and share your thoughts with me. Again, I'm just starting out. I don't really know anything about this process. It's kind of a hobby for me. I'm enjoying it, and that's how that's where I'm at with it. All right, guys. Thanks again. Be well. Get out there and explore. Enjoy life.